Morning students. Today we will start the topic exchange of gases in plants of our respiration from the respiration topic. In the previous part of this respiration, we have learned about the different points in regard to the process of respiration, mechanism, types, differences between the respiration and the other processes, and how the ATP generated during this process, how the energy liberated, what are the different types of organisms, and what are the different steps taken by them for the oxidative breaking down of the food molecules within the cell. Today, in the very first class of this topic, we have distributed the entire topic in the three different sections. What are those three different sections? The first section we have already completed. That section was the mechanism, process, differences, and everything in regard to the basic concept of the respiration. And in the second, we have already divided into the three parts. In the second part, we will learn about the exchange of gases in plants, and in the third part, we will learn exchange of gases in animal and the mechanism of respiration or the respiratory system in the human or in man. During the process of exchange of gases in plants, in the previous topic means photosynthesis. During the process of photosynthesis, also we have seen that there is a exchange of gases. In the case of photosynthesis, carbon dioxide will be taken, oxygen will be given out. And in reverse to that, here in case of respiration, oxygen will be taken and carbon dioxide will be given out. But the mechanism or the process of exchange of gases will be similar in both the processes. And that is the topic for today's class. So here I have written some brief idea. You well know that in the plant body, we are talking now what is the process of exchange, what are the mechanism or what is the structure which are related with the exchange of gases. That is why in the process of respiration or any other process like the photosynthesis, you have seen that there is any specific structure or a definite structure present or organ present within the plant body that will allow the exchange of gases. Like the animal where there are some breathing organs or special respiratory organs present. But here in case of the plant, there is any specific respiratory organ or breathing organ present. But of course, there are some special structure present within the plant body that will allow the exchange of gases. What are those different structure? We will discuss later on. First, we have here see that process of respiration requires exchange of gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide. It is essential for the process of respiration that during this process there must be the exchange of gases between the environment and the organism. Oxygen and carbon dioxide. All plants show the process of respiration. They do not bear distinct respiratory or breathing organs like animals, but of course they possess some special structure through which exchange of gases takes place by the process of diffusion. For diffusion of gases through the plant body, a network of intercellular spaces and air cavities develop in it. These 2 points are very important, like intercellular spaces and air cavities are present. In the previous section, when you have seen a diagram, cross section of leaf, what you have seen in that diagram? You have seen in that diagram that upper epidermis and lower, we will draw the diagram here once again. In the upper epidermis, in the lower epidermis, there are possibilities of the presence of the stomata, and in the dicotyledon plant we may see the stomata are present within the lower epidermis, and the upper epidermis in very rare, especially in case of the monocot plant, may also stomata present on the upper epidermis. If you observed that diagram very carefully, then may you have an idea that there are cells which are present in that cross section. The cells which you have seen, they are loosely arranged. There are intercellular spaces present and there are also air cavities present, and that will ensure, that will facilitate the exchange of gases in plant smoothly and efficiently. It is in case of the plant. In case of the animal, when you look about the respiratory surfaces or any particular respiratory organ or the breathing organ, at that time you may also see the several special features of those organs which are adapted for the exchange of gases, like the organ or the respiratory surfaces are thin, moist, vascular, vascular means provided with blood capillaries. They will be present within the body for the protecting, for a protection view. May you see that those organs, those respiratory surfaces are mostly present within the body. So those are the special features in case of the animal. Here there is no such type of complications, but there are some special features of those parts which allow the exchange of gases, and that is the cells are intercellular spaces. That is, between the cells there are large spaces are present, and also the air cavities develop in that places. So this is some special features regarding the exchange of gases and the structure which are related with the exchange of gases in plant. Now now we will discuss what are the special structure. As in case of the animal, there are a special organ and the special parts are present. Here there are some special structure or places are present within the plant which show the exchange of gases. So now we will learn about those different spatial structure related with the exchange of gases in plant. What are those spatial structure? The very common structure which you have seen also in the previous section, that is the presence of stomata. Number 2, we will all discuss this one. Number 2, lenticels. Number 3, root hairs. Number 4, we shall discuss about the entire body surface, body surfaces. And number 5, in a very rare, may be the presence of pneumatophores or respiratory routes or breathing routes. Breathing routes. So these are some special structure that related with the exchange of gases in plasma. First, we should talk about the stomata. As it is earlier, we have also seen this stomata, and most of the gases exchange takes place with the help of the stomata. Here, maybe number one, physiological process earlier which we have seen, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Number two, which we presently studying, the respiration. And number third, the process of transpiration. In all these three important physiological processes of plant, the stomata are very important parts. As because in case of the photosynthesis, when there is a exchange of gases between the organism and the environment like the carbon dioxide and oxygen, that is helpful. In case of the respiration, when there is exchange of gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide, it is also. And when there is an excess amount of water in the form of vapor is kept out from the aerial parts of the plant body, in that is known as the transpiration, and the transpiration is very important also, as because this process not only helps in case of the removing the excess amount of water to maintain the water balance of the plant body and maintain the temperature of the plant, and also in case of the when there is an absorption of water and minerals from the soil by the root hairs or by the process of the diffusion, at that time also, that means the ascent of sap. You will study this one in the process of transportation in plant. At that time, transpiration pull as an important phenomenon that will helpful to transport the water and mineral up to the top parts of the plant, that is the leaf. There are, why I have mentioned these three, as because you may aware with this fact that, and you also know in the previous topic you have seen the exchange of gases through the stomata. You may here also may see the respiration process during the process of respiration. When there is exchange of gases, it is also through the stomata maximum. And the second important part is lenticels. These lenticels are present on the woody stem, where there is a layer of bark present over the stem, and in that bark there are pits, or in that bark there are some scars. May you observe that pits or the scars is known as the lenticels, through which after the lenticel there is again loosely arranged cells or intercellular spaces and air cavities present that will allow the exchange of gases. In the case of root hairs, may you also see, just I am going to introduce all this part. In case of the root hairs, what you may see, in case of the root hairs, may you see that roots are present within the soil. Soils, their molecules, between the soil particles and between the soil molecules, there are presence of air. There are presence of air. and that will helpful in the exchange of gases. And during the process of absorption of gases like the oxygen and when they given out the gases like the carbon dioxide during the process of respiration, at that time root hairs absorb the gases, the oxygen and transport it to the adjacent cells, and that will also dependent upon the process of diffusion. And the fourth part which is related with the exchange of gases is the entire body surface. In this entire body surface is just like when you will study about the exchange of gases in the unicellular animal like the amoeba. Then what's your observation? You will see in the case of the amoeba that their entire, there is no any specific, how there is any specific organ? As because the amoeba is made up of only a single cell, there is no development of tissue, there is no question at all. That's why the entire body, that unicellular organism, perform all the vital life processes, and during that processes their entire body surfaces are very useful. You have seen this one in case of the process of nutrition in case of the amoeba. Here may you also see that the entire body surface is responsible for the exchange of gases in the amoeba. And this is the very rare example in the mangrove species. It mainly found in the Sundarban areas of West Bengal, where there are such type of modifications of the roots which develop above the soil, and that development is only meant for the process of exchange of gases. That is why those type of roots which modified to perform the functions of exchange of gases, that is known as the respiratory roots or breathing roots. This is not only in case of the exchange of gases in case of the respiration, in case of some other physiological functions the root also modify. Like you just may I give here one example, like in case of the plant, the roots also responsible for photosynthesis. This is very unique for photosynthesis, as due to the modification of root. Just you have seen the roots are modified for the exchange of gases, and also roots modified for the performance for the process of photosynthesis, and that type of root is known as assimilatory roots. Just like you have seen here the respiratory roots, and when the roots modified to develop, and it also develop above the ground, above the soil, and they perform the functions of photosynthesis. Example here may I give, like the Tinospora. This is the example. And in case of exchange of gases, the respiratory roots example are the mangrove species of the plants. So here we have just introduced you the different parts or the different structures which are related with the exchange of gases in plants. You well know that during the process of aerobic respiration or the cellular respiration, where there is a oxidative breaking down of food particles takes place within the cell, and that will provide all the organisms energy for performance of the different vital activities of the body. So that is why respiration is essential, and it is a continuous process. That is why there is a continuous supply of oxygen is required. And for that purpose, if there is no special structure, or like in animal if there is no any special organ present, then it is very difficult to absorb the oxygen from the surroundings by the organism. That is why here I have introduced you the first one, stomata. Once again you may listen. The first one, stomata. The second one, lenticels. The third one, root hairs. And the fourth one, entire body surface. Yes, in this case I have not given example, sorry. From the entire body surfaces, you have an idea about the plant in the plant kingdom. Algae is a very popular aquatic plant, and this plant is do not modified. Their body differentiation in roots, in stems and leaf do not take place. There is no differentiation of the body into the roots, into the stem and into the leaf like structures. In these types of plant, the exchange of gases takes place from the entire body surfaces. They mainly present within the water. They are aquatic, they are marine especially. That is why they in their body, from the entire body surface, they are able to take oxygen, and they are also able to take carbon dioxide. They give in oxygen, they give in carbon dioxide. That means the exchange of gases takes place from their entire body surface. Like, may you give the example here, like the Spirogyra. So these are the some important organs that is related with the exchange of gases in plant. This is very easy and short topic. Now I would like to give you a short description about all this structure that will helpful for you to make notes. Okay? So now, as I have introduced you those special structure which are related with the exchange of gases in the plant. Now, for each structure there is a short description here. First, you familiar with this, as because already I earlier told you that you have already seen the cross section of the leaf in the process of photosynthesis. The same diagram also applicable here, but may I give you a simple diagram here for the stomata. So here the stomata are used for interchange of gases between the plant and the atmosphere, oxygen for respiration and carbon dioxide for manufacture of carbohydrates. Here I written both these two things, and for the facility of diffusion of gases, each stoma opens internally into a small cavity. In case of the respiration, some may told about this cavity is like the respiratory cavity, and which in its turn communicate with the system of intercellular spaces and air cavities. So this is the first stomata and its description, a short description here, and the second important part through which the gases exchange takes place, that is the lenticels, and there is a short notes on lenticels. The hard woody plants, the stem is covered with bark. I have told you bark, covered with the bark, and that within that bark lenticels are small openings in the pits of the bark, and that is the lenticel, and through which the exchange of gases takes place. Just may you look here, a simple diagram of that is the diagram which are, and in this there are carbon dioxide. Here the exchange of gases, it is the lower epidermis, and these are the cells. And just when you may see here that after this is the stomatal aperture, and from this stomatal aperture or pore there is a exchange of gases takes place, and just after that aperture there is a cavity, and that cavity communicates with the air cavities or the intercellular spaces. There are spaces between the cells, and that is a simple diagram that has shown the exchange of gases during the process of respiration. So, here in this case, this is a simple diagram which you have seen. Now, come to the lenticell. So, here you have seen that oxygen and carbon dioxide, it is during the process of respiration, oxygen is taken, and this is the stoma, that is the aperture, this is the structure of stomata. In the second example, you have seen the lenticell. You may simply draw a diagram of lenticell. Lenticell, it is the part of the stem which are showing here, and this part so there are pits are the lenticells present. This is known as the lenticels. If we will observe this one, it will also show structure where there are presence of when you will observe this in case of the cross section or in case of the TS of the stem part, then may you see also there are loosely arranged cells that will provided by the other cell also, and there are presence of loosely arranged cell from the pits, and with these pits there is a exchange of gases takes place. So, this is the structure just I have shown you the two different structure. Now, the third important part we will discuss, that is the root hairs. Okay. The third important part which we will discuss is the root hairs. Root hairs. Root hairs. The third important part of in the plant for the exchange of gases is the root hairs. The root hairs are in contact with oxygen present between the soil particles. This oxygen enters the root hairs by diffusion process and from there passes to the other cells of the root. The carbon dioxide produced in the root cells move out into the soil. So, this is the some simple diagram of that and this is the TS of root. First may you write here TS of root, transverse section of roots and root, and here is the root hairs. Oxygen may passes and the carbon dioxide may return back. This is the exchange of gases in the by the root hairs. So, this is the third important parts, and the last one is the from the entire body surfaces. In case of from the body surfaces, from the body surface, in case of algae like Spirogyra, the gaseous exchange takes place through the entire body surfaces. Spirogyra, may I give an idea about the diagram of Spirogyra? It is a filamentous algae. It is known as the filamentous algae. So, in this type of organism, the exchange of gases takes place from this entire body surfaces. Entire body surfaces. Like this is the body surface, this is the body surface, this is the body surface. From this entire body surfaces, there are exchange of gases takes place. Oxygen will be taken and carbon dioxide will be given out from the entire body surface. So this is the diagram for spirogyra. Up to this extent, we have completed our topic's main point, and actually the main points are only the three. I have added here body surfaces, and I have also given you an example of nematophores or breathing roots. That root how modified and developed above the soil or ground, just that may you also see here in those type of there is a development of roots, and there are pores or the pits present which allow the exchange of gases. So this is the example of mangrove species. Example of mangrove species. In mangrove plant, may you see that there is a exchange of gases takes place with the help of these respiratory roots or the nematophores. Nematophores. This is that. Okay. You you can also write breathing root or the respiratory root. Then terminology here used for that is the nematophores, the modified root developed in the mangrove species. So here if you have seen the exchange of gases in the plant body. In our next class, we will discuss about the exchange of gases in animal.